Hi guys, bienvenue to my channel. My name is Ifeolu Aishala. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking and always returning back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to the family. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. In today's video, we will be talking about one of the major reasons why I have been like off YouTube for like 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to be sharing that with you. And at the same time, you might want to stick to the end of this video because I'll be introducing one platform that will be of major benefit to you. If this sounds like something you are interested in, come on soon. All right, guys, like I said, it's been a while. Like it's been 3 weeks. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks since I last uploaded on YouTube. And thanks to those of you that reach out to me on WhatsApp, on Instagram. Thank you for asking, like, what's going on? We don't send video. I really felt so important. Thank you so much, guys, for reaching out. I really appreciate it. Well, I wasn't sick. I was fine. Everything was okay. It's just like, the way life can be at times. Like my Oma was Omod during that time, and it was just so much going on. And one of the major reasons that kept me away from YouTube. Like it wasn't as if I really wanted it to, but I was just so engrossed in it and it took my time. It was stressing and things like that. And that is the issue of accommodation in the United Kingdom, accommodation in the UK. Guys, I didn't know that this was going to be a major issue because I felt like I had made my findings. I've done a lot of research. Like, I mean, I had a jotter where I wrote all my researches even before we came into the country, and I was so sure I did good. But I still didn't know that was going to be like a major issue, especially for students who come in with their family. So if you are an international student planning to come to the United Kingdom with your family, this video is for you and you definitely want to stick around to the end to hear what I have to say. So guys, as you all know, I came into United Kingdom to do my master's program with my husband last year, sometimes towards the end of last year. And at that time, we came into the country quite all right. But even before we came in, we've been trying to reach out to different agents that I've seen online and things like that. Because just like I mentioned, before we came into the United Kingdom, I'd done a lot of research. Like I'm going to give it to myself that I've done a lot and a lot of research, guys. Trust me, I know the type of houses to search for, the platforms to go, the amounts, the price range, the area I would love. Like I've done all those kind of research and everything. So, but before we left Nigeria, like we could not secure any house, and majorly because most of the videos I watch on YouTube of international students sharing their experience, most of them say like it's more preferable when you come into the United Kingdom to secure a place than securing a place when you're still in Nigeria where you've not gone to view the apartment, right? So that's why I was like, okay, no problem. When we come into the UK proper, then we're going to view the apartment and see what will go on. So the second alternative we had as well was for me to stay in the school accommodation because school has like an accommodation for student that comes with their family. But school accommodation thing is like okay, first come, first serve. So I would have gotten the opportunity to, you know, get the school accommodation like as early as May, June. But because of what happened during that time, I don't even think I've shared our journey. I don't think I've shared it. Yeah, we're definitely going to share it one day as well. We just want to, settle a while and be in the right headspace before we share that story. But we'll definitely share the testimony with you guys. So during that time, us coming down here was already shaky, 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 shaky. Like we weren't so sure any longer. So it was a thing of the probability was so low. So that made me like let go of the school accommodation because I didn't want to hold on to it when somebody else might need it, somebody that's already on ground. So that was how I let go of the school accommodation and I lost that one. And it was really painful because when we came in later, around late last year, we had to stay in an Airbnb for us to be able to like stay for a while because we had to quarantine because my husband and I were not vaccinated. So We had to like quarantine for 14 days, and all those long processes of just community in the United Kingdom. So we didn't have an option than to stay in an Airbnb. And when I say an Airbnb, it's like a short let apartment where you have access to things like a house, but it's just for a short let. You understand? So yeah, we booked that for 15 days. That was the plan with so much hope that when we come in after we quarantine, I think the quarantine was even for 10 days, right? Yeah, it was for 10 days. So we're like, after our quarantine, we're going to use 2 days to search for house because I felt like I've done the necessary research and everything. So it shouldn't be that hard for us to secure a place and everything. I say United Kingdom people are like for your mind. So we finished our quarantine, and thankfully the next day we stepped out. We even went for a viewing that day, and that was like the first apartment we saw. Like it was so lovely. I loved it so much. I fell in love with the environment, everything like that. It was amazing. And they were like, "Oh, they're gonna get back to us," and that was when many types of rejection emails started, guys. So they got back to us and they were like, sorry for themselves. They could not move on with their application, blah, 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 blah. And we are like, oh, that's no problem. This is the first, right? Then we kept on looking, guys, and we didn't have any option than to extend our stay at the Airbnb because where are we going to move to? Under the bridge. Where is even the bridge? And it was like super, super cold. So we had to like keep extending our stay at the Airbnb, started searching for houses. And even though we get some house, they'll tell you, oh, sorry, we don't take student with family. Oh, sorry, it's just for like single occupancy and, like things like it continued like that. And it was really draining. At the same time, it was financially taxing because, taxing. It was financially stressful as well. You understand? Yeah. So after a while, we decided that we're going to search for private landlords and see if we're going to get any. So through the help of the Holy Spirit, my husband just woke up one day and was like, he searched for private landlords in 20 and see if we're going to get one. So I did, and the first house popped up, and the person had like he was supposed to be away for a while, and then he needs somebody who's going to occupy the place for like 6 months before he comes back into the country and things like that. So we are like, oh, it's perfect, at least before 6 months, we should be able to sort ourselves. That was what we thought. And then we signed up for the house, and God so good because in the UK, when you want to get an apartment, you usually go for viewing, you know, after viewing, then you schedule when you want to sign the appointment and everything like that. But because we had spent so much at the Airbnb, we told God we are supposed to go for the viewing, quite all right, but we're going to pack our bags and check out of this place because we have been spending so much. And then we're going to go into that place and hopefully we find favor, right? So we did that, and God so good. We met the landlord. He was an amazing person, a Christian as well. Took us in that first day, and he didn't even ask for any guarantor reference. God was just so good to us. He perfected that, and we moved in, right? So we moved in, and just as the agreement was, he traveled 2 weeks after we moved in. So we had the apartment to ourselves, even though it's more like a shared apartment. But then we were entitled to like a room, the living area, and the kitchen. So we were like in the house, and we're fine. But unfortunately, plans changed, right? So some things happened, and plans didn't go the way we wanted, and the way the landlord would have wanted as well. So he had to return early, and then we now had to be in like a shared apartment. So that was kind of like not part of the plan because I'm here with my husband, right? We're like a family who needs our privacy, you understand? And coupled with the fact that like it's a new town, it is cold, I need my human blanket. You get what it's like. So like we didn't have much privacy, and it wasn't just really what we signed up for. And no capping, no capping. We had an amazing landlord. He was amazing, a Christian, a nice man. Introduced us to church. I even think you guys might probably have seen him in one of my videos when we went to the beach. That was how close we like. We're so close. But then that doesn't change the fact that we as a family needed our privacy. Okay, and during that last year, December, Christmas time, so we started looking for an apartment again. And guys, like no capping, I the apartment that I said that I actually applied for There should be more than 70 guys. Like, because I just kept on applying for viewing, applying for viewing. There are even some that I didn't even get to the stage of viewing. They just tell me, oh, sorry, somebody have gotten the apartment. Because even though you tick all the boxes and everything, by the end of the day, they're like, oh, sorry, the landlord is not moving on with the application. And we're like, okay, no problem. And then the real struggle started looking for apartment that would take families, and it just wasn't it. We just could not get. So we kept on praying, we kept on hoping, and we kept on applying, searching, going for viewing, and things like that. And we kept on like same story all over. Like my emails are always filled with rejection emails, and guys, there's an extent to which somebody can take rejection. There are times you just get tired of it. So this present apartment, right, the one we finally secured, I remember when I went for it, like I've always told God, like I want an apartment that is so close to my school, so that I wouldn't have like I wouldn't need to be taking the bus, so that I could just trek, and even if I need to stay back in school because my course demands that I do a lot of practicals, and I might need to be in like the creative suite or something, and I'm late and I need to get back. Like I just needed something easy that I could work with as a student. And at the same time, I wanted to be at the city center, to just um, be able to like fully explore the beauty of the city and things like that, be close to other students as well, like have a community, if you understand what I mean. And where we were, it was like a residential place, it was quiet, it was like a perfect place for a family who has a car, who is settled, you understand that kind of thing. But it was pretty far to school. Like I literally used 2 hours on the bus for me to get to school and 2 hours back home. So like imagine I used like 4 hours sitting down in the bus or standing in the cold waiting for the bus and things like that. And the fact that the bus to that area, the last bus leaves so early, like between 5, 6. If I'm not careful, I might not get a bus to my house and I'll have to trek. So like there was so much stress we were, and we were just trusting God for us to be able to get a place that would at least lessen the stress, lessen the cost of taking buses almost every time. Somebody where we can just get these bends our way. You understand? So we kept on praying, and then this apartment came up, and I really wasn't even so sure. I mean, I'm even going to say this apartment was one apartment that I didn't put my all in while applying for it. I just sent them an email like, oh, I saw an apartment. It was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes walk from the school. And it's like, excuse me, babe, can I get water, please? All right, guys. So, yeah, so we wanted an apartment that, could basically be in like the center of the city where we are, where we could be easy to navigate places, you know, easy access to like supermarket and stores and things like that. So this apartment was like it fit all the requirements we wanted. So I applied for it and I was told to come for viewing, and I went for the viewing, but at the same time I really wasn't sure because I wasn't the only one that came for the viewing that day. I think we're almost like 3 or 4. So like when I saw quite a number of people that came for the viewing, I was like, I don't think we're going to be able to get this apartment. So we might as well just start looking for somewhere else. But at the same time, I was really, really tired of going for viewings because I was just fed up. Because I was like always going for viewing. My husband was busy at work. So I was just tired of going for viewings, and I was just like, you know what? Anyone that will just come, God will sort it and things like that. So I think like a week before, my husband was like, he dreamt about the house we're going to be in, and then he gave me some specifications, and then a different house actually came up the same day he shared the revelation with me. So I thought it was that house. So I put in all I put everything I have in that house. I was pushing for the application and everything, but I could not even go for the viewing before they said they are giving the house to somebody else. Unknowing to us that the house God showed my husband was the one we're in right now. So 3 weeks had gone. I mean, we didn't hear anything from them. So I was like, probably we didn't like pass the screening stage. So my mind was already off this apartment already. Only for them to just, send us an email. I just got an email like, oh, the landlord is happy with the application. And guys, like I was super, super excited, and God so faithful. Like the processing of us securing this place was really, really stressless. Like there was no need for us to get a guarantor. There was no need for us to go and bring letter from somewhere. My husband's letter of employment rather was okay. My school ID checked. Reference from our current landlord checked. Like it was so fast within 24 hours. Yeah, within 24 hours, like we sealed, we got our keys, and it was just like it's not as easy. You understand? And it was just super, super easy for us. And I was just like, oh, the truth, God's time is the best time. And then we got his apartment, and it was everything that God showed my husband about the environment that we're going to live in. It was literally like a stone throw to a church. It was like 15 minutes walk to the school, access to different stores, and like it was exactly what we wanted, and it was exactly what God showed him. And we were just so happy that indeed God still is in the affairs of men. Okay, no matter how little the specification is, he hears us and is making big plans for us. It's just that, we as humans, we might feel like, oh, time, oh, this is going and things like that. And yes, it took us almost 6 months for us to be able to get a place of our own, but it was worth it. You understand? It was worthwhile. And I understand the frustration that comes with international students coming in with their family, especially, and trying to secure a place is a nightmare, guys. And that's why I'm just going to like quickly give you a few tips of things that are going to help you to get an apartment at least fast or quick. And at the same time, I'm going to introduce you to this platform. This platform is like the best, especially for a student that comes in as single, like you don't have a family, you just come in as single. I have a good news for you. There's a platform that got you covered, especially with this accommodation. You won't go through all the stress of viewing and application and rejection and all these things. And they are called Amberstudent. Okay, Amberstudent is a platform that has different houses across 100 countries, like more than 100 countries. They have them in Highland, they have in Denmark, they have in the UK here as well. And the beautiful thing about them is their apartments are close to the school. So like you literally do not need to spend so much money on bus. If you're like somebody like me that loves to just walk away around, you're good. And even if you want to spend money on bus, I mean, it's literally like so close. So there are a lot of student discount that you can work with. So, and it's easy to secure an apartment with Amberstudent. All you need to do is just click the link in my description box. I'm going to drop a link in my description box. Click the link and then just put in your details. Tell them the kind of specification you want, and guys, boom, like you're done. They're going to get you the perfect flat, either a flat or you want a shared flat or you want a studio to yourself. Whatever it is that you want, just tell them and then they're going to work according to your budget as well, which is like a beautiful thing. And another amazing thing about Amberstudent is that they have like efficient customer service. So you like drop your message right now and before you know it, they reply to you. And even before you get to the country, like a house is waiting for you. How amazing is that? So, yep, guys, click the link in my description box, fill in your details, everything that you want to, and they got you. Okay, and make sure you share with your friends. Amberstudent is not only in United Kingdom, they are in Denmark, they are in Highland, like they are in Germany as well. They're in like 100 plus countries, guys. So they've got you covered wherever your friends are, families, loved ones. Just share this video with them, share the link with them, and the accommodation is sorted. Okay, now for those of us that have families, well, there are some things you need to do that will help you to. I'm not going to say it's going to help you get a house fast because I mean, I did all these things and look at it after 6 months. But then my case is different. Your case is different, right? I know families that came with their kids and literally within 2 weeks they got a house. Okay, so we are different. You understand? So do not just think, oh, you did all these things and after all these things, it took you 6 months to get a house. Where it took all 6 months because God has like a big plan for us. Doesn't mean it doesn't have for those that have 2 weeks. I don't say that too. Everybody just has a way, like you understand what I mean. So, but everything needs for you to be informed, know what is ahead before you come into the country. And that's why I'm going to say research, 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 research. Guys, like there's no end into researching about the country you're going to, okay? And this is not necessarily just UK, okay? This is like whatever countries that you want to go to, any country at all, research, know the kind of standard of living of the city you're going, the place where you want, like what are your specifications? Is it close to the school? Do you want to be taking the bus? Do you want to be trekking? Like you understand that kind of thing. Make sure you research and find out. Then make sure you know like the amount at which houses cost, so you'll be able to know like plan your budget. Okay, you should know that a studio apartment, like a shared apartment rather. When I mean shared apartment, you're sharing like some communal space, like the living room and the kitchen and bathroom. And there are some that the shared apartment, the room has like a suite, which means it has its own bedroom. Okay, so these are all the things you need to find out for you to be sure you know the kind of thing you're working towards. Talking is not easy. So these are all the things you need to find out for you to know what like your budget is going to be, because if you're staying in a shared apartment, it's not that expensive as staying in a studio. Staying in a studio is not as expensive as taking a one bed flat, and a one bed flat is not as expensive as taking a two bed flat. Now there's something we call furnished, semi furnished, fully furnished. You see why I say you need to do a lot of research, okay? Let me know in the comment section if you want me to talk like in details about what to look for in accommodation in the UK, especially if you are coming with family. Let me know in the comment section. That might, ginger me to talk about it. But then I think this video is long already with the story and everything. But research, know your budget, what you're working towards, all right? Always have a plan B, C, D, E, F, G. Guys, have multiple plans, all right? Because you might think, oh, this might what will happen, and it ends up not happening. So you're not going to panic the way we did, because we were so sure that by the time we spent 15 days in the Airbnb, we would have gotten a house. And look at us, we did not. Okay, so have various plans, backup plans, exactly, have that. And at the same time, be open minded. Don't be scared of rejections. It might be the first house you go for that you might be able to secure, and it might be like the 79th house that you go for that you might be able to secure. All I'm saying is don't give up just because you check one and they don't give it to you and you're like, there's no house for me in the UK. There's house. All right. You just need to keep checking and not give up. All right. You might want to get yourself familiar with different platforms that advertise houses. Just as I've introduced you to Amberstudent, make sure you click the link in the description box. They have different type of houses that fit into your budget, that will help you to know the one you want. That can be helpful at times. So you just don't come in here and you are roaming around the streets looking for different houses. It doesn't work that way. Everything they do is kind of like automated, online, digital. So they always like direct you back online, or call this number or something like that. So you need to get yourself familiarized with it as well. Then another thing I'm going to say is schools usually have provisions for student with families. They always have accommodation from them, but the only issue is just that the houses is like all cake. So it's like first come first serve. Before the start of the semester self, the houses are filled up. So if your school have that kind of a thing, I would advise that you take advantage of that. Make sure you register ahead. I think most schools might ask you to pay for a holding fee, and even if they ask you is around £50, which I feel is okay, for you to just make sure that okay, I've secured this place pending the time when I come. And there are different lengths of tenancy agreements that you can sign, things like that. So yeah, you might want to also check out for that. Doing these things are going to help you secure an apartment here in the UK, and accommodation might necessarily not be a nightmare. But before I end this video, I'm just going to tell you, an international student coming here with your family to the United Kingdom, be prepared to face that ordeal of accommodation. It's not because there are no houses, but they are concerned about the fact that you are coming with kids. So the house that is going to house kids needs to be more careful in the way of like the different way they put the sockets. Like they want to make sure it's child safe. If there's any English like that, they just want to make sure it's children friendly. So they would like kind of like be scrutinizing you, like, oh, do you have kids? Oh yeah, oh I'm sorry, my house doesn't like house kids, you understand that kind of thing. And you might want to take it wrongly at first, because you're like, why don't your house kids? The reason is because there are some protective rules, or there are some protective things that needs to be in the house, especially a house that's going to have kids. Okay, so just know that it might be tough at the beginning, but definitely you're going to find your feet. I mean, relocating to a different country or trying to settle in a new place, not even country now, even different states when we move at times, can be, taxing, and it can be, I don't want to say daunting because that might be too much, but you know how it can just be. It can be somehow overwhelming, but with God, with your partner, encouraging yourselves and knowing fully well that it's just for a limited time, like it's going to pass, you will be fine. So yeah, guys, that was one major reason why I had to stay off YouTube for 3 weeks. It was like back to back search, back to back moving, back to back trying to settle in, and it was just too much. And I didn't have time to like pick up the camera, set up, and talk. So yeah, I think yeah we've gotten that out of the way. So yeah, finally we have a place of our own. Yeah, we have a place of our own, and I'm so excited. I mean, we have the privacy that we want, and yeah, we can now have a place we can call home. If you understand what I mean, yeah. So I'm grateful to God. Thanks to everybody. Thank you for reaching out, guys. Like the love is amazing, and the fact that we kept on growing, guys. We have 550 subscribers. Thank you so much for you guys. Like you keep subscribing. I keep getting new members. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. So we've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking to this point. I really hope that you hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you will be alerted anytime I drop a new video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.